Sarah Hayes walked into the Horizon Flight Academy with a worn backpack slung over her shoulder and oil stains etched into her hands. The room fell silent. Then a chuckle broke the tension. Is she here to fix the coffee machine or the cockpit? A voice muttered. No one expected her to last a day. The other cadets, former Air Force pilots, sons of admirals, exuded confidence in their polished uniforms. Sarah, 28, a ground technician with no flight hours, seemed out of place. They laughed, but by dusk, those laughs turned to stunned silence. In the toughest simulator test, designed to humble even veterans, Sarah adjusted the controls, navigated vicious crosswinds, and landed the virtual plane with precision unmatched in 5 years. The screen glowed with her score. No one spoke. The man who chuckled first removed his cap and nodded quietly. Sarah had no wings, but she had something else. Years of crawling under engines, listening to turbine hums, and studying blueprints by dim light had taught her the language of machines. The sky, to her, was just another system to master. Her story wasn't just about talent. It was about rejection, loss, and a buried past. As a child, she traced flight paths with her finger, dreaming with her father, Daniel Hayes, a pilot who promised her a flight for her 10th birthday. He never returned from his last route, lost in a crash, labelled pilot error. Flight schools turned her away. No degree, no hours, too old. So she worked maintenance, doubling shifts, learning planes from the ground up, running simulations on a shaky laptop at night. One day, a poster in the break room caught her eye. Flight for All, a programme for non-traditional candidates. She applied with a single essay, and when accepted, she stood under a roaring plane, smiling softly. The academy was a world of clean floors and loud voices, nothing like her grease-stained overalls. On day 1, cadets whispered as she dropped a wrench. "Filling a quota," one sneered. Sarah didn't flinch. Her first task was observing a pre-flight check. Spotting a loose hydraulic line, she spoke up. The mechanic confirmed her find. A fault that could have grounded the plane. Respect didn't come easy, but it began. During drills, she sat alone, staying late to trace control systems, pitch, aileron, rudder, whispering them like prayers. Her first simulator run loomed. Cadets with private flight hours strutted. Sarah had only ground experience. In the pod, she faced a short runway, crosswinds, and a glitch mimicking a sense of failure. She bypassed the fault, rebalanced fuel, and landed flawlessly. The instructor asked, "Where'd you learn that?" "Fixed a B-737 hydraulic failure once," she said. "Remembered the feel," a cadet muttered. "Witchcraft!" But with awe. That night, she reran the simulation, adding engine flameouts and wind shear, surviving with calm hands. Week 2 brought motion simulators. In low visibility and rain, she weathered a sudden drop, an engine failure, and a foggy landing, relying on instinct honed under wings. Cadets clapped. Real applause. Lieutenant Marcus Reed, a traditionalist, watched with unease. He set a solo test. Mountainous terrain. System failures. A cliff-face turn. Sarah cleared it, stepping out to Reed's stunned silence. "You knew I rigged it," he said. "I figured," she replied, "but I didn't crash." 3 days before the final exam, a notice suspended her status. Insufficient hours? A lie. David Pierce, a top cadet, protested, joined by others. While sorting checklists, Sarah found a file, Hayes Archive. Inside, a CD revealed her father's final transmission, hydraulic failure, a system glitch, and a voice, Major Ellis, logging it as pilot error. Ellis, her instructor, had buried the truth. On the tarmac, David brought reinstatement news. "People are watching," he said. Her final test came. Engine failure. Lightning. No comms. Flying blind. She listened to the plane's hum. Recalled her father's words. "Fly by feel." She landed on an emergency strip intact. Ellis nodded. "Your father would be proud." At graduation, he presented a plaque for Daniel Hayes and named her top graduate. A new jet. Flight 714. Her father's badge awaited. "I'm teaching with it," she told David, "to shape the future." Months later, Sarah's new role as an instructor tested her resolve. Her first class included a skeptical cadet, Tom Grayson, a former mechanic who doubted her credentials. During a training flight, a sudden storm hit. Tom froze at the controls. Sarah took over, guiding the plane through turbulence with the same instinct that saved her exam. "You're not just a teacher," Tom admitted later. "You're proof." Their bond grew, and Tom became her first protégé, eager to learn her methods. And one evening, a letter arrived from a retired pilot who'd flown with Danielle. It detailed how he'd tried to report the glitch, but was silenced. Sarah visited him, a frail man in Nashville, and they pieced together the cover-up, sparing the Academy's reputation at her father's cost. She didn't seek revenge, but pushed for a formal review. The Academy opened an inquiry, and though no one was punished, a new safety protocol bore Daniel's name. Sarah also mentored a young girl, Mia, whose single mother couldn't afford flight lessons. Using her influence, she secured Mia a scholarship, teaching her on weekends. Mia's first solo flight, shaky but successful, mirrored Sarah's own journey. At the hangar, veterans began gathering, drawn by her story, sharing tales of quiet courage. Sarah listened, adding her father's lullaby story, sparking tears and nods. As winter approached, Sarah faced a new challenge, a national training conference where skeptics questioned her qualifications. She demonstrated a complex maneuver in Flight 714, silencing doubters with precision. A retired general approached, offering a handshake and a story of Daniel's early mentorship. Sarah felt a connection to her father's legacy deepen. Back home, she launched a community program, Wings Up, teaching local teens aviation basics, using an old hangar donated by a supporter. One boy, Jamal, struggled with dyslexia but excelled at spatial tasks. Sarah tailored lessons for him, watching him soar in simulations. One spring day, a documentary crew arrived, wanting to film her story. Sarah hesitated, fearing it would shift focus from her father, but agreed, ensuring Daniel's name was central. The film aired, sparking a wave of letters. Veterans, single parents, dreamers, thanking her for proving limits are negotiable. She kept one from a woman whose brother, a pilot, died in a similar crash, vowing to fight for transparency. At a Veterans Day event, Sarah flew Flight 714 in a ceremonial pass, dropping petals over the crowd. Mia, now her co-pilot, beamed. Afterward, a young girl handed Sarah a drawing of a plane with Hayes on it. "For you," she whispered. Sarah tucked it in her pocket, eyes wet. The sky wasn't just hers, it was a shared legacy. If this moved you, like, subscribe, and share. Comment your sky.